Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to our first Innovation Day with the topic Low Code, No Code. We are happy that you are taking the time to be with us here today on our event. My name is Alexander Alvarenga and I'm your host. I will guide you through today's sessions. Before we start, I have a few organizational information for you to share. We are here in the traffic studio at Filterstadt, from which we are streaming this live webcast. This webcast will be recorded and can be found in the Mercedes-Benz social intranet afterwards. If you encounter any technical difficulties during the event, use the Q&A button on the left-hand side on your screen. And now that we are done with this, let's get started with our event. Everything we are going to talk about today is about low-code, no-code. And I'm happy to introduce to you the guests we have here on the stage today to discuss this topic. We have Michael Schulte, Director of ITT Digital Foundation and sponsor of this event. We have Uwe Falkenberg, Technology Strategist from Microsoft. We have Bernd Drothen, Vice President Solution Engineering from Salesforce. We have Jan Bungert, Senior Vice President, Head of Platform and Technologies, Middle and Eastern Europe from SAP. And last but not least, GREGG ALDANA, Global Vice President, Creator Workflow from ServiceNow. In order to provide you, our viewers, with a more detailed perspective of our guests, we thought we were going to start with a brief discussion. Starting with you, Michael, we are happy that we could gain you as a sponsor for this event. Therefore, could you please share your perceptions about low-code, no-code to start our discussion round?
Yeah, sure. So, hello again, also from my side, and look at this sentence here. You see, we want to transform Mercedes-Benz with code and no slides. And this is really a great slogan we got last year from one of my colleagues, David Schum is his name, which really expresses what we are seeing. So we would like to go into action and to show everyone that coding is really tractable for everyone. So you do not need to be a developer for 10 years. You can go into this kind of new work with very limited knowledge up front. The ecosystem around it is really great and supports the entire community and also our company to go coding. And having said this, just to go a little bit more in detail, I would like again, starting what our CIO Jan Brecht said, why we are doing it. In the end of the day, we are, as everyone in the industry, we are going digital, 100%. That is why we are doing it. Yeah? And what we are doing it with software and platform. We're talking about this today. And the how is for us, we're also changing our target operating model. And when we're looking into this what area, it is really necessary to say why is low code, no code so important for us. And it is important for us because we see here these four sectors in the technology area. So we have data is a big thing we need to focus on. Then cloud native is, on everybody's plate here to discuss how we are moving and transforming into that area. And also when it's coming to network security, zero trust is also a big technology trend. And the fourth one and the biggest one is really also something, it's the low-code, no-code initiatives we are running here. And this is the reason why we thought, okay, let's put focus on our day here, the Innovation Day, to this low-code, no-code things. And what we would like to do here today with you is first and foremost exchange with experts. So we have a real live event. We are streaming our event here. So we come later to that. A lot of people in the background here doing a hackathon, a live hackathon, by the way. So therefore, we would like to exchange with experts around that, but not only exchange with experts. We have here this really senior and top companies here providing low-code, no-code platforms for us. We would like also them to share their view on low-code, no-code for you, and hopefully we gain here a little bit of momentum that from here we can go into this big journey of low-code, no-code. So having said that, I mean, in the end of the day, it is not on the slide here, it is also that I would love if you have some fun. Fun is also something which generates momentum and which helps also in stressing times to get really great results done. So I really am curious. I'm interested to hear and listen to you guys after this event. And having said this, I would like to give back to you, Alex. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you for your input. I already introduced to you the experts from our partners we are having here today on the stage. And now we would like to hear what their opinions and statements about low-code, no-code are. Let's start things off with Uwe from Microsoft. Uwe, thank you for being here with us today. My first question to you is, how would you define the scope of low-code, no-code from a Microsoft perspective?
Well, low-code, no-code is about democratizing technology. It's not only about building an app with Power Apps. It also could be a dashboard with Power BI, a website with Power Pages, or an automated workflow with Power Automate, or a step-by-step work instruction with guides on HoloLens, or a virtual agent powered by ChatGPT. And with Microsoft Teams, you could have a hub and a place where you publish your app and make it easy to access for everybody. And ChatGPT is a great example where we also have the opportunity to integrate latest and greatest innovation and make it accessible in a secure way for the businesses and your business. But low-code is not a dead end. You can easily extend it with professional code when it's needed. And this is how we empower the business units to do more with less and being a real citizen developer. So the citizen developer is key in the business to speed up, but IT plays also an important role to give the governance around low-code, no-code to make it a secure environment. We have in our session later a case from your colleagues in the factory of Bremen, where people from the business with their process knowledge built an app and worked closely with Patrick Liebelt, the product owner within IT. And this is an example where we see the trend from low-code, no-code. Business have a huge demand and needs help and guidance. In our session, we also have a video message from Charles Lamana. He is the corporate vice president of our Power Platform and business apps. And he talks about the trends in enterprise businesses. And one trend is, like Mercedes-Benz, evolves more and more to a software company. And when you become more and more a software company, you compete with us hiring the same talents. And we do not have enough professional developers on the market. So we need to enable and empower the business units to do their job and create a citizen developer community. That's what we think.
Sounds very interesting. And could you explain a bit more about the collaboration between IT and business then?
Yeah, the product owner with a center of excellence needs to make sure that you, for instance, use all the data connectors, and we have around 900 of them, in a safe way. They need to provide the secure environment for the business. On the other side, the business needs to be aware that there's a shared responsibility. So they need to maintain their apps and projects by themselves. You also can think about freedom for the business should not end in anarchy. So you need some control. And the IT plays here a very important role to do the governance, the safe environment, and the life cycle management. Sometimes you create apps which is only intended to be used for a limited period of time, Then you need to make a decision, can I retire, can I delete it? So we and our partners can ensure that you have maximum flexibility for the business, but with an appropriate governance model around it.
Thank you for sharing Microsoft's view. Let's give Salesforce a chance to show their perspective as well. Bernd, thank you as well for being here today. My first question to you is, what makes the Salesforce low-code, no-code platform unique?
Yeah, thank you very much, Alexander. Good morning, everyone. Well, I think it's fair to say that today the Salesforce platform is the #1 platform for customer engagement in the industry. It's all about enabling companies to build applications that provide these, personalized, exceptional, relevant experiences for their customers. It's all about doing that quickly and at scale, and without a lot of complexity and with clicks rather than code, right? And that was, by the way, also something that was on our founders' minds when they started Salesforce back in 1999. So not only to provide, easy to use enterprise solutions in the cloud, but also to provide an easy to use yet powerful platform in the cloud as well, so that also our customers and our huge ecosystem of partners can also build additional applications, and again, quickly and easily and with clicks rather than code. But in order for that to be possible, a couple of ingredients are actually required. So #1, what you need is a scalable, trusted, secure infrastructure for all of that to run on. #2, what you also need is a metadata layer to separate that infrastructure from the application layer, so that we at Salesforce can drive innovation, right? And upgrade our services 3 times a year without any disruption for our customers. And then thirdly, what's also needed is a powerful set of capabilities throughout that platform that are available in all these applications. So things like automation, artificial intelligence, analytics, mobile, data access, and so on, because that's where the speed of development then actually comes from.
Thank you for these insights. But what would you say are the latest innovation on your platform?
Yeah, that's a great question. I love talking about innovation at Salesforce. So, but let me highlight 3 things that our customers will benefit from massively. #1 is Hyperforce, #2 is Genie, and #3 is, particularly for your industry, the Auto Cloud. So Hyperforce, what is it? So I talked about the importance of a scalable, trusted, shared infrastructure before, and that's exactly what Hyperforce will deliver. So what we're doing is we're moving away from running our own proprietary data centers, which we did quite successfully over the last 2 decades. But instead, we will work with the so-called hyperscalers, the public cloud companies, so Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba, and so on. And we took that strategic decision for various reasons. So #1, what we get from these hyperscalers is almost infinite scalability, right? And also highest levels of trust and security, because that's what they stand for, right? That's really their DNA. And then secondly, maybe more importantly, our customers will get massive benefits from a legal and a compliance perspective, because with Hyperforce, we will be able to run our services right in the countries where our customers need us to run them. So that's Hyperforce. Then Genie. Genie was revealed at our huge Dreamforce event in San Francisco last year. And but from my point of view, Genie is really one of the biggest innovations we've had at Salesforce in our history. So with Genie, it will become possible for our customers to use real-time information about their customers in customer interactions across sales, service, and marketing, right? So not only can companies use the traditional structured CRM data that we've always had, but now also, unstructured real-time data can be leveraged in the customer profiles. So data coming from, mobile devices, IoT data from social media, right? And all of that is harmonized into one consistent customer profile, and that gives us the understanding of the customer that we need to provide these exceptional experiences for customers, right? And since all of that has been developed directly on the Salesforce platform, all the platform capabilities that I talked about, like the automation, artificial intelligence, and so on, can now directly also be applied to these real-time data streams. So that's Genie. And then the third one, the Auto Cloud. Well, as the name suggests, it's an industry solution for your industry. So it will help you build and run and deploy applications that connect customers, cars, and dealers. Okay, and it comes with a industry-specific data model and also a specific set of capabilities, right? So that you can increase efficiencies, speed things up, and ultimately also save cost.
Okay, but coming from innovation, innovation also needs strategy. Why is it so important for companies to have a good low-code, no-code strategy?
Yeah, well, we're convinced it's super important mainly for one reason. So what we see in the market today is that customer expectations are increasing a lot, right? Customers expect relevant interactions, informed interactions. You could call it luxury customer interactions. And in order for that to happen, you need to have this complete customer profile. That's why Genie is so valuable. So from that perspective, it's not enough anymore for companies to build great products, right? I mean, you've been building great cars forever, right? But I think right now, an equally important product, so to speak, is the brand experience that you deliver to your customers. So the experience from beginning to end that customers have with the Mercedes brand, right? And the only way really to do that at scale and across all your countries, all your markets, and also across all physical and digital channels, the only way to do that really is a powerful low-code, no-code strategy and platform.
Thank you, Bernd, for your thoughts. Going forward with SAP. Jan, great that you are here today. Thank you. At the SAP Tech Ed, SAP released the evolution of your low-code portfolio, SAP Build, as a key component of SAP Business Technology Platform. Why does SAP need a dedicated offering, and what is the added value?
Thanks, Alexander, and hi everybody at first. To answer this question, let's look a little bit back how it was in the past, right? I mean, to change something in an SAP system, to develop extensions and all that stuff, you always need specialists. You need developers and people that are really setting up projects and doing those things. And of course, in the market, a lot of people wanted to be faster and more agile in that topic. And with SAP Build, the world changed. Yeah, everybody can now become a developer, also in the SAP context, and also then beyond when you look at other applications. And that's just pretty simple. I mean, everybody can just register to a project room. You can build applications and model applications. You can build processes across, so to say, applications from SAP, but also other applications. You can just use the data from SAP, but also from SuccessFactors, other SAP ecosystem applications, and also all the other data you have in the company. You can combine and model then processes throughout the company, and also build business sites and apps. You can, which are then, so to say, a portfolio that is managed by the citizen developers, how we call them, and I think you manage it. It's the same way, and that's the big step forward, where I think that's a very good message for all the users. Yeah.
Okay, and does this principle work for all use cases?
In general, yes. Yeah, but it depends, certainly. Yeah, so because I mean, it depends on how strong the involvement of the citizen developers are, right? How strong the process domain know-how needs to be, and how fast you want to be, right? Because the no-code, low-code is, in my point of view, not for everything, right? It's for a lot of use cases a perfect fit, and then you can do extensions and model process and all that stuff. But there are also use cases where you have we would like to apply other technology, for example, integrate that with each other. And that's what you're going to still develop in the SAP Business Technology Platform. And in our world, you can combine those things. So the business user can model, so to say, and can also define and create own apps. And certain things can still be developed by a regular developer, so to say. And then we can combine it by click, so to say, on a platform. And that's, in my view, the right strategy forward. Yeah.
That sounds for sure interesting, also for our community. Do you have an example?
Yeah, sure. So we are running at SAP. We have a program that calls Sub Run Sub, so to say. And of course, I'm also part of it. And just before Christmas, I modeled my first app myself. And this just give you a little bit the context, because I wanted to have an app which makes my life a little bit easier when it comes to certain approvals. So it's about a lot of emails I got, and then I need to go in the application, draw data together and all that stuff. And what I did is just registering at a project space in SAP Build.
then the IT department gave me the data sets I need, the interfaces I need, everything, and also some templates that might fit to my project. And of course, also I could, all the use rights and so on were inherited, so I do not need a new user and all that stuff. Everything's already there. And then I started modeling my project, right? Modeled, built the app. And after half a day, I was ready with what I want to do. So I had some statistical info, some context information. I had some things for my process and then kind of an auto approval modeled in that for a certain threshold. And also then the opportunity if I get certain emails at certain phases, information I can approve or reject, and all the things that are not in the regular SAP system, right? And then afterwards, providing it to our platform, and the IT just reviewed it, approved it, and I assigned it to 5 more colleagues who also have a similar topic, and they can now also profit from what I did, right? And I'm not a developer, right? I'm a business user, and that was quite a good experience. So everybody can become a developer, and also at Daimler-Benz, it's at Mercedes-Benz, it's already in place. So the pilot there, you can start tomorrow connecting the SBIS team. And just get your own access to this kind of project platform, and then you can start modeling changes in SAP immediately. Yeah, and or you can of course also join later on the deep dive session to learn how it works and so on. But it's pretty cool. I can recommend it myself.
Thank you, Jan, for your insights, and thank you for sharing. Finally, yet importantly, I'm curious about the position of ServiceNow. Greg, ServiceNow is well known as a reliable platform for IT workflows. Why should Mercedes adopt this platform also to build low-code solutions?
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. As a lifelong software developer who's developed applications on all the technologies you're going to see today, I'm really excited to talk to you about where ServiceNow really fits into the low-code citizen developer space. I think what makes ServiceNow a very unique proposition for low-code is that the platform itself was originally developed as a low-code citizen developer platform. The original vision of the technology stack was to enable regular people inside of companies to be able to create meaningful applications. And so while ServiceNow is known for IT workflows and the IT service management, that was literally the first low-code app built on our platform. And so that is our roots. When you do low-code citizen development on ServiceNow, it's a trusted IT technology, you're doing what it was originally intended to do. And ServiceNow takes a very unique approach to low code. We take a very holistic approach and a very platform approach. We look at low code as a team sport, where I think originally when people think low code and they think citizen development, they think tools. They think tools to just build applications very fast. Now that's important, but you need, and ServiceNow's roots in IT, we understand you need to take into account the operational teams. The people that have to deploy, that have to scale, that have to manage these applications, their needs need to be taken into account as well as the end users. I think everybody out there has got a cell phone, and how many applications do you get pushed out to your phone a day or a week? And you don't go through a 3-week training class to learn how to use them. So you need to take all 3 needs of these groups into account, and ServiceNow does that in a very unique way. I think the other point, what makes ServiceNow one of the premier choices for low code, is that with some low-code technologies, you have to make a choice. You're either going to go low-code, and you're going to stay in the low-code box, and you're going to be limited to what you can or can't do, or you're going to go pro-code, and you got to take on the burden and the expense and the overhead of doing that, and usually have to use different tools and technologies on different platforms. With ServiceNow, you don't need to make that choice. It's one single pure platform that caters to low-code citizen developers as well as pro developers. They're using the same set of tools, and we see a lot of collaboration between line of business citizen developers, maybe starting out with a simple request form app, and then working with IT developers, professional developers to layer in integrations and enterprise-wide security. So we really take a holistic hyper-automation approach, and we look at not just the digitization in the building, but applying the integrations, the robotic process automation, being able to do the process mining and the optimization. We look at the whole full life cycle. So with ServiceNow, you're not just looking at a low-code solution, you're looking at a holistic hyper-automation platform.
Thank you. So, as you know, Gartner predicts a huge growth for citizen development. There's a lot of opportunities, but also some challenges. What is ServiceNow bringing to the table to secure governance and data protection for global citizen development strategy?
Absolutely. I think CIOs really have a challenge with citizen development, and they basically have 3 choices. You can either ignore it at your own peril, you can forbid it, good luck, people will find a way, or you can embrace it. And by embracing it, you can take a much more proactive approach. So at ServiceNow, being, our roots in IT, we are the premier platform to manage services, to manage assets, to manage operations. And now we have come to market with a tool for end-to-end governance of low-code citizen development programs. So we manage the whole life cycle. People don't want to make the mistakes of the past. We don't want unlimited sprawl throughout the company of hundreds of Lotus Notes apps, and we don't know what they do. So we're providing a tool on our platform, a workflow, if you will, that allows the onboarding of citizen developers, the training, and the assessing of their ideas up front from both a technical and a business standpoint. Does this make sense? Do we want to build this? So we don't waste anyone's time up front. And then as the application is built, there's some support provided by IT. And then finally, using the inherent security tools built into ServiceNow, we scan the applications, we vet it, we test it with an automated test framework. So by the time it gets deployed into the enterprise, it's not technical debt. We've made sure it's exactly what it needs to be. And now you can monitor that application using all of the great IT tools that ServiceNow already has. And so often, the way to want to prevent sprawl is by assessing the ideas up front. But with ServiceNow, you can also monitor the applications in production with the same platform. Who's using it? Am I getting the return on investment? And when people are no longer using it, we have a feature coming this fall that you can automatically deprecate the application. It will automatically retire. It's no longer being used. So we're automating the end-to-end sprawl. But I think from a security perspective, something else that ServiceNow offers that's very unique is integrations. We take a very no-code and low-code approach to integrations, which is usually the most challenging part of application development. We do this with an integration hub full of spokes into third-party systems. And what we see a lot of IT managers and citizen developer leaders doing is embedding these spokes into systems like SAP or to Microsoft or Salesforce into application templates. Let's say for the finance department, has to make a lot of calls into SAP. They can put the security restrictions into the low-code app template, and so they can set those guardrails and manage it securely and enable the lines of business.
The theory sounds great. And could you also share some examples or customer use case?
Absolutely, that's my specialty. I'm kind of known at ServiceNow as the creator workflow story whisperer, and I was a former customer. Before coming to ServiceNow, spent about 7 years developing on all of these platforms. But probably our largest citizen developer implementation would be Banco de Brazil. They've been on a two-year journey. Citizen development is pretty hot in financial services. One of the second largest bank in Brazil, manage $1.9 trillion in assets, 99,000 employees globally. Oh yeah.
Yes.
And
maybe we do it like that. That will not be.
Oh, sorry about
We have
that.
some interference.
I think we just had an interruption. And so on their journey, they've already trained 32,000 employees across 21 business units here. Right now, as of December of 2022, they have active about 200 developers, 800 developers in their system that have deployed 200 applications into production, and they have another 200 in the backlog. And one of the cornerstones of Banco de Brazil's program is they've actually put in financial compensation incentives for each department to build a certain number of apps. And really, it's citizen development is one of their 5 pillars of the CIO's total digital transformation over the next 5 years. And so they're building all kinds of apps. Anything from, giving loans overnight to banks in different currencies, to managing catering requests for board member meetings. I mean, they're really running the gamut and transforming the way the bank does this. I also want to point out and give a great example of probably one of the largest low-code implementations I've ever seen of ServiceNow, and that's with the U.S. State Department. One of the largest mobile workforces in the world, 130,000 employees and diplomats, 257 embassies worldwide, and they're using low-code to automate everything. They're using low-code to automate requests for diplomats, requests for language services, courier service requests, time and attendance. Anytime you go into an embassy, you're going to a ServiceNow portal requesting these custom low-code services. But they're not just using low-code to automate their existing business processes. They're using low-code as a strategic advantage to deal with ongoing security problems in the world. And I think probably the most well-known, we all saw the pictures last year of everybody evacuating Afghanistan. State Department, that local embassy was in a pinch. They needed a way to process all of the applications for repatriation back to the United States. And under 1 week, they used ServiceNow's low-code platform to develop a public-facing app to accept the applications, and then a nice low-code agent workspace to process them. and they've successfully processed 70,000 refugees through this program. So low-code's being used by our customers for very challenging mission-critical humanitarian efforts, as well as a lot of back-end services as well.
Thank you, Greg, for these insights as well.
Excellent.
After we heard a lot of opinions and statements about low-code, no-code, and here on the stage from our partners, I want to come to an additional highlight we have here today. It's our low-code, no-code hackathon we have happening here today in the studio, live. That's also a little back noise sometimes. And we are really proud of that. And to tell you more about the hackathon, I will hand over to my colleague Selma, who is standing 20 meters from here with Hans from Mendix, and they will tell you the details about the hackathon. Selma, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Alex, for the handover, and also a warm welcome from my side. As you can see, our hackathon is taking place at the very same time. But let's not disturb them and let them work. But there's another thing what I want to say. This hackathon is hosted by Mendix. That's also the reason why I would like to introduce you Hans de Visser. Hans is the Chief Product Officer at Mendix, located in Rotterdam. So that's why, first of all, welcome to Germany and welcome to Stuttgart, Hans. We are very happy that you are here today.
Thank you, Selma. It's a real pleasure to be here, and also thank you for the invitation for doing the hackathon here today.
Sure.
It's a great vibe. There's 4 teams competing for 2 use cases. So I'm really curious to see the outcome of the day.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Let's continue. During the preparations regarding this hackathon and the Innovation Day, I learned a lot about Mendix. And what I also learned that Mendix lives the hackathon philosophy, but I know there are more than also the hackathon. So that's why let us start with the first question. Who is Mendix?
Yeah, sure. So actually it's intriguing. The slide that I just saw on the previous keynote, so to say, was one title was about you don't transform Mercedes with slides, but with code. So the whole philosophy about doing hackathons is really to our mission, which is about mobilizing enterprises, making better software faster. And the whole idea is that the traditional IT methodologies are insufficient to keep up with the demand for digital solutions. And that's why we are really adamant about introducing a new style of low-code development in organizations like Mercedes-Benz.
Okay.
And there's actually 4 core principles that we apply in the platform. So first of all, it needs to be collaborative, making sure that people from business and IT can really collaborate together, turning ideas into outcomes, as we would call it. Secondly, it needs to be really fast. So rapid development, visual development, and also automating all of the more difficult parts like DevOps automation and so on. And then obviously the platforms need to be state of the art in the sense that it's cloud native, which is bread and butter, I would say, these days, but also applying more modern architectures like event driven and so on. And then the last piece, of course, is super important also for organizations like Mercedes-Benz, being totally secure, meeting the most stringent requirements wherever you would deploy the software.
Okay, but thank you for this interesting insights.
Thank you.
Coming to my second question, and I think this will be also very interesting for our audience. Could you tell us more about your platform, the Mendix platform?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, it's not just only about development. We cover the complete application lifecycle, and it really starts with ideation, so identifying your portfolio, defining your requirements in the platform, and then you turn it into basically the act of visual development, followed by testing, you deploy it, and then you operate it. So that whole cycle is basically an iterative cycle that you go through time and again.
Okay.
And it yields you a couple of real benefits. Like, first of all, you can unleash a larger talent pool. So you don't need to come in with a very technical background.
Okay.
So people with day jobs in the business would collaborate with people on IT side. People may get an appreciation for development and start to develop themselves. And we all bring that together in one single platform. Secondly, when it comes to architectures, because of the fact that we cover so much in terms of abstraction and automation under the hood, as a developer, you can focus mostly on the functionality.
Okay.
So you don't need to be bothered about security, about scaling the application, and so on. The third one is actually experiences. So from a Mendix perspective, we are going very far in creating native experience on mobile devices, for example, progressive web applications or web applications, augmented reality. So that's all clubbed into the mix to build what we call multi-experience applications. And then the last one, also super relevant in larger enterprises like Mercedes-Benz, is deploy at your cloud of choice. So you can run it in the public cloud. We run on AWS. You can run it on a private cloud, for example, Azure, Red Hat OpenShift, Cloud Foundry-based cloud, or in the traditional on-premises setting, or even on edge devices. As you may know, we're owned by Siemens. So we do a lot of collaboration with the manufacturing teams from Siemens to actually run Mendix in shop floor operations. So we go all the way from, I would say, more traditional administrative systems to shop floor operations and so on.
Okay, cool. Thank you for this great overview. I like that very much. But coming to my last question, what can we build with the Mendix app? With the Mendix platform?
Very good question. So we actually see 3 archetype use cases across the board in our customer base. The first one is all about customer experience and customer engagement. I think one of the other speakers was mentioning it well. I think it was from Salesforce, really embracing your customer and, present an experience which is immersive and also really creates that kind of brand loyalty that you would like to establish. That's one archetype use case. Second one is around process automation. So automating internal business processes and basically digitize your operations, which is widely adopted. So 2 of the use cases that we're doing here today in the hackathon are also, I would say, automating internal processes. And then the last one is about modernizing core systems. So quite a few of our customers are basically saying goodbye to the monolith systems that they've built in the past, and they're actually redeveloping applications cloud native on the Mendix platform to do the heavy duty type of operations that you would traditionally do with high code or commercial off the shelf systems. So these are the 3 use cases that we typically see, and most of customers are actually mingling them to create end-to-end processes across their whole value chain.
Okay. Very good. I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Will. And good. So we are at the end for this session now. Handing over to Alex again. I'm very excited for looking to the results of the hackathon, which we will see in the closing session.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
looking forward to it as well.
Yes, good.
I will be there too.
Perfect. So back to Alex again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Selma and Hans, to provide these insights from the hackathon. I'm also very excited to see the results and the outcome this evening. And talking about the evening, I want to show you, our viewers, what you can expect from today's agenda. We are already within the opening session and nearly at the end of the same, so nothing much to add here. But we have 4 supplier sessions throughout the day where you can learn about their vision and strategy about low-code, no-code. You can see their tools in live demos, live in action, and you can learn from best practice examples what this technology is capable of. At the end of each session, there will be a Q&A where you can state your questions directly to the experts. And hopefully we also get all the answers we want to hear. We have 2 sessions in the morning. Salesforce will start right after this session and followed by Microsoft. And we have 2 sessions in the afternoon with ServiceNow and SAP. Important to say that these sessions will take place in Microsoft Teams, so you will need to use the link you got within the invitation, or you use the links button again on the left-hand side on your screen. We have 2 additional highlights in the afternoon. After the lunch break, we will have Marina Riebke, Chief Enterprise Architect, Mercedes-Benz Group AG with us, and she will hold a lecture with the title From the Shadow into the Light, Transforming Shadow IT into a Strategic Asset. Followed by a keynote from OutSystems with the title Digital Innovation Velocity Powered by High Performance App Dev. This session will be again a Meet You session. And at the end of our day, within the closing session at 5 p.m., we will have a look at the hackathon. We will wrap up the day. We will announce the winner team. We will have a look at the winner solution. So stay tuned for that. Now that we are at the end of our opening session, I want to say thank you to everyone here on the stage for being here today. And I wish you, our viewers, a great innovation day, great insights, and as Michael said, have fun. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.